It's the beginning of November now, 2017, and we're starting a new theme, and our theme this month is gratitude. It's gratitude. So I went to my spirit definitions to see what it said about gratitude. And just to remind you that these come from those downloads, those spirit letters, and there's a whole collection that's forming a dictionary. And these are definitions of spiritual qualities and explaining how the qualities are not nouns. Okay? They are not things to chase after. Love isn't something to chase after. Peace isn't something to chase after. These are not, faith isn't something to chase after. They explain how all of these spiritual qualities, which are the building blocks of the universe, it's our spiritual DNA, so to speak, that all of these things are energetic fields. They're energetic fields, they're vibrations, they are activities. Love is an activity, peace is an activity, joy is an activity, power, creativity, these are activities, so is gratitude. It's not just a thank you, it's not just a response, it's an activity. And in this definition, it explains how there's something that we bring to the table and what it is that we have to do with what we have and how it has to meet something that's already there. I can't emphasize that enough. When we're chasing after joy, for example, we're forgetting that there's something that's already out there. There's a joy that already exists. And what do we have to do to bring ourselves into alignment with it? Not that we have to create it, not that we have to make it, not that it's missing, but if we're not experiencing any of the spiritual qualities, it's not because it's gone. It's because there's something that we're not doing. I can't emphasize that enough. The wealth isn't gone. It's not gone. Clarity isn't gone. Vitality's not, they're not gone. There's just something that we have to do to bring it to the table. So it defines gratitude this way, and I'm going to say it a couple of times. It says gratitude is where your appreciation relishes in the thoroughness of the journey. Gratitude is where your appreciation relishes in the thoroughness of the journey. Gratitude is where your appreciation relishes in the thoroughness of the journey. So let's break that down. I want to start with that concept of to relish something. Okay. When you relish it, you really enjoy it. When you relish it, it's savory, it's tasty. There's an involvement with it. When you relish something, you're not just observing it from out here. You are engaged with it. You're involved with it. Like relish on your hot dog. It's just, it's all over it. Okay? You're in it. Okay? What do you relish? What is your life all intertwined and intermixed with? Where is your energy? Where is your attention? Sometimes we're relishing in stuff we don't even want. We're wallowing in it. Tweeting about it, twitting about it, Facebooking and journaling and meeting and supporting and all this stuff. Don't even want it. But all up in it. What are you relishing? See, because relishing has more to do with your attention than whether you want it or not. Okay? We manifest what has our attention, not whether you want it or not. Your attention is energy. Your intention makes it magnify. Your attention makes it multiply. You don't get what you pray for. You get where your attention is. So if you want to get what you pray for, put your attention where your prayers are. Put your attention where your prayers are. We pray about stuff and then worry. We pray about stuff and then come up with all the reasons why it can't happen. Or how hard it is. Blah, blah, blah. I'm really serious. We let the facts eclipse the spiritual truth. We trade in possibility consciousness for probability theory. Don't live your life on the probable, because that's just what's already happened. That's all what's probable is. But I'm talking about what's possible. You have to transcend the past. You have to transcend everything else that's come before you, because my Jesus is my main man. Now, some of these folks that call themselves Christian, I don't know what Jesus they got. But my Jesus said, don't get stuck on me, because greater works will you do. That it ain't even me. Don't even bother to praise me, because it's not even me. There's a power within me, and that power is within you. And I have come here to help you see that. I have come here to exemplify that. I have come here to be the example, not the exception. So what do you relish in? Where's your attention? It says gratitude is where, not when. Not when. Because when localizes it. When makes it seem like it's very specific, and it stops and it starts. Where is forever. Where doesn't come and go. Where? Gratitude is where your appreciation relishes. Appreciation. Appreciation is that capacity of ours to be able to imagine or to conceive that something has value. Appreciation is about value. Once again, not just whether you like it or not. There are a lot of things that we don't like that are very valuable to life. And people make this misunderstanding that when we're talking about the appreciation, they think that we're talking about being appreciative for the thing that you don't like. What we're talking about is being appreciative for the value that it brings to your life, even though you don't like it. But when we get so stuck on I don't like it, and because I don't like it, I devalue it, then I can't learn. Then I can't grow. Because I'm so stuck on the fact that I don't like it. And we equate I don't like it with it's bad. I don't like it means it doesn't have any value. I don't like it means I want to get rid of it and I want it to go away. So how many of you have had things in your life that you didn't like and that you wanted to go away? But had that actually happened, your life wouldn't be as full as it is now. Both hands. Life is a journey. And it probably took me 40-something years to figure that out. That life was a journey. It's not a destination. Life is not a goal. It's a journey. And that's it. That's it. That's all it is. It's just a journey. There's no place to get to. There's no place to get away from. It's just a journey. And all of life is there everywhere. Everywhere. It doesn't matter. There's not more God over here or over there. This may be shocking, but God's in the White House. God's in the outhouse. The courthouse. Your house. There's no place God's not. There's no place that you have to go to have the close encounter with God. You can have it at the top of the Himalayas, or you could have it down in the gutter. There's not more God up there than down there. It's just a little different scenic route. Some's just a little cushier than others. But there's no place that the back of the bus doesn't get to that the front doesn't. It's just a different ride. The journey has a thoroughness. See, we would pick and choose. We would do it like a little vacation itinerary map. You know, what are the sites? Well, let's go over here, and let's go, I don't want to do that. Or I don't have time for this thing. That one costs too much. This one's out the way. I'm not prepared for that one. Whatever. Like it's a little menu. And we get to like pick and choose not only where we go, but the when, the where, the how, with whom. It's not that kind of party. One day you'll figure that out. And all I can tell you is that the more attachment that you have to it being that way, the harder life is going to appear to feel. It's not the stuff of life that's hard. It's our attachment to how we think it ought to be that's hard. It's not the stuff of life that's hard. It's our attachments to how we think it ought to be. That's what's hard. What's hard isn't the actual stuff. It's the letting go of the hopes, the dreams, the ought tos, the shoulds, the expectations, our vision maps, our plans, our agendas, our timetables, all the ways, the photographs, the pictures of what we thought it was going to be. we put a picture on the end. So whatever that is, love, joy, peace, power, prosperity, we put a picture on the end of what that's supposed to look like. And we misunderstand this. When you are putting a picture on there, like a vision board or something like that, that is simply to move you into possibility. Okay. Not for you to get attached to that as the manifestation. That's just to cultivate the soil of your mind so that you can perceive more, become open to more, and receptive to more, and then let life bring you what's the highest and the best. Do not get attached to the idea of what you think it's going to be, because you don't know. And God has things in store for you you can't see. People you've never met. Circumstances and conditions that can bless you, you don't even know about. Can you map it out? You can sure try. Am I saying don't have any goals or dreams? Don't have any plans? No. What I am saying is that there is something that you become in the process. So I've been an organizational consultant for many years. And it's not uncommon in the nonprofit world for funders to require the groups that they're going to fund to have a strategic plan. Quite often, like the 3 to 5 year range, before they give you the money. It is very rare that they ever hold you accountable to the things that you projected 3 to 5 years out actually happening. They know that plan is going to shift and change along the way. What they know, though, is through your strategic planning, you have gotten into the process. Hang with me here. You've gotten into the process of thinking large. You've gotten into the process of collaboration. You have gotten into the process of bringing all the quote-unquote stakeholders together, all of the people who are going to be involved in it. You've done some kind of assessments of the stuff that you have, and you've done some kind of thinking about what you can do and what you can bring forward. And if you've done that much, then when life shifts and changes, you can rebound. When life shifts and changes, you can be resilient. When life shifts and changes, you can tweak your plan and not fall apart. Because you have been engaged. See? That's why we do this stuff. Do the spiritual work. Have visions, have goals, have dreams. Not that you become so attached to them, but to show you what's possible. And what we always do around here is say, this, Lord, or something better, baby. Do not restrict the universe with your idea about what's possible. Because you're only looking from what you see. You're only looking from what you know. But there are resources out there you don't know about. There are people who want to play with you you don't know about. The good that you seek is seeking you. What we're doing is we're sending a flag out there that says, I am available. When you write your resume, do not write your resume to convince somebody to give you a job. Don't write your resume for that. Let your resume be your assessment, your own internal inventory. Notice how when you do your resume, you're kind of like, did do some stuff, huh? I do have some skills, huh? Kind of gets up a little bit of confidence. Let your resume be a self-assessment of yourself and a broadcast announcement of your availability. Let it be a broadcast announcement of your readiness. Even if you are looking for another job, do a resume, baby. I am serious. Don't let the fact that you're already there. You know one of the scariest things when I'm doing couples counseling is when I tell them to pray for the divine right relationship. They get scared to death. They really do. Because sometimes they're afraid that that may mean not this person. But there's a divine right relationship between all people. There's a divine right relationship between all people. It may not look like what you think. It may look like more, it may be a little bit tweaked. But if you are willing to open yourself up to the divine right relationship, see, life has a thoroughness. And you're always in relationship. You're in relationship with life itself. You are in relationship to your own self, your own mind, your own body, your own skills, your own everything. And most of us, once again, would want to carve it out and make it really narrow. But that thoroughness of the journey is thorough. Not just to send you through a whole bunch of trips and changes, but to round you out. To enlarge your territory. To expand you. Because we are all of it. We are all of it. We are yin and yang. We are masculine and feminine. We are power and peace. We are creativity and stillness. We're all of it. But we get lopsided. It's like we get off balance. And when we don't choose to be in balance, life knocks us off balance. Come on, that's it. That's it. That forces us into finding some balance. So you don't slow down and smell the flowers. Stuff will happen that slows you down. Okay? And once again, you may not appreciate what has slowed you down. Could be anything. Could be illness, could be death, could be grief, it could be loss of job. I mean, it could be anything. Okay? But there's a value you get out of it. Anybody that I know of who's a cancer survivor, for example, will always talk of what they learned and how they grew and how much their life changed. Anybody that's ever made it through some great financial loss, they'll tell you about how their priorities had to get in line. How they had to figure out what really was important. People who have come through addictions or different kinds of things that have pulled them off their course. And they come back and they tell you now, gee, in that process of healing, I can see so much now that I couldn't see before. I can let go of the stories. I can embrace a little more. I can love a little more. But I couldn't do that from where I was. I had to detox. And detox ain't fun. And I don't care whether you're detoxing from your own anger and resentments and frustrations. Detox isn't just about substances. And that's part of what's going on in us in the collective right now. There's a detox that's going on. Because when you're in the middle of detox, you're jonesing, when you want to binge. Oh, there's too much change. Oh, there's too much illness. Oh, there's too much growth, and you want to go back. Everything about you wants to go back to pick up that old stuff. Because detox ain't pretty. So can we appreciate the thoroughness of the journey? Even in our political landscape? Don't be forlorn. This is what healing looks like. Amen. Amen. It gets uglier before it gets prettier. You cut your hand before you get that nice, neat little new skin. You got bruises. You got scabs and pus. It don't look pretty. And you can look at that and think you're going in the wrong direction. I want new skin. What's this crusty stuff? What's this black and blue? Where's the healing? I get that all the time. I'm praying for prosperity. Why am I broker now? I'm praying about unconditional loving. So why is my ex up in my face? Because that's the journey. That's the thoroughness of the journey. We get led into territory we didn't want to go to. Because that's what we need. In the Exodus story, that journey in the wilderness, they were not lost. They weren't lost, okay? They knew exactly where they were. They had made it to the promised land in like a year or something, but had decided that there were quote-unquote giants in the land. It was too big for them. There was too much for them. So they spent 39 years getting ready. 39 years getting ready. There's a metaphor here, but I have found it to be so true for life. So they had these campsites, and there were actually 39 campsites. And if you look up the etymology of the names of those campsites, it's beautiful. Each describes certain activities that was happening in the campsite. And you never knew how long you're going to be there. Could be 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 days, 2 years. They followed a cloud by day, and it said a pillar of fire by night. And basically, you stayed there till the cloud moved. When the cloud moved, you moved. But you never knew how long. You never knew how long. Nobody born in captivity made it into the promised land. Not even Moses. Nobody in captivity made it to the promised land. Only the ones born on the journey. Only the ones born on the journey. Throughout that 39 years, everybody who was in captivity died off. This is a metaphor for your life. That old you is gonna die off in the journey. Not once, but over and over and over and over again. And a new you is gonna keep coming forth that has skills and levels of compassion and insight and discernment and faith and wholeness and trust and truth and things you didn't even know of in captivity. You didn't even know them. But unless you give yourself a chance to stay on the journey, they wanted to go back. They wanted to go back. All their needs met, this stuff, manna from heaven. You've probably heard that term. It was this gooey, sticky stuff on the ground. And it literally means, what is that? What is it? That's what manna literally means. What is it? Nobody even knew what it was. And you had just enough for that day.
Yes, you did.
Couldn't store it, couldn't save it, and right before the Sabbath, you got a double portion, so you didn't have to work to pick it up. Wasn't fancy, kind of boring. They wanted to go back to the juicy stuff. But I am telling you that on your journey towards your thoroughness, all of your needs will be provided for. And that moment, it may not be as fancy or as pretty as you want it to be, but you will not starve. And you will come out so much bigger and greater and grander than anything that you could ever imagine. And I'm hearing my spirit voice now. Actually, I think it's in the letter that I entitled Is versus Exist, which was the letter I got right before I first went into prison. Not that I went into prison, but that prison outreach. And I was complaining about my life and all the things that were going on. And I'm going to say this a couple of times because it's a reoccurring theme. And the Spirit voice said to me, in your willingness to be anything, you can be everything, even if it isn't the something you thought you wanted to be. In your anything that I've called you forth to be, in your willingness to be anything, you can be everything, even if it isn't the something you thought you wanted to be. Don't pass up your blessings by not appreciating the journey. As Lynn Twist says, what you appreciate appreciates. Gratitude is where your appreciation relishes in the thoroughness of the journey. Gratitude is where your appreciation relishes in the thoroughness of the journey. Breathe that in.